Hi everyone, it's Linda and Carolyn. Carolyn is replacing Michelle until Michelle gets back from her vacation. I talked Carolyn into another movie. Actually, she offered. And today we went to see the movie Nuremberg. Whew! It was a tough movie. It really was. For anybody that doesn't know, it's based on the book called The Psychiatrist and the Nazi, and it stars Russell Crowe and Rami Malek as the Nazi and the psychiatrist. And it is a very heavy movie. It really is. A couple of lines of it really stand out and stuck with me.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, what are your thoughts?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, it was kind of with the movie, it starts out with the kind of like two stories, right? We have Justice Jackson, as
U.S.
well
Justice.
U.S. Justice Jackson, and the Allies in France, Russia, and the UK trying to figure out, can these Nazi leaders be put on trial, because there's absolutely no precedent at all. There had never been a trial like this before. There was no precedent. So we have this story unfolding in the beginning.
And this is in 1945,
Yep.
and Hitler is already dead.
Yes, Hitler's already dead. And then the other part of this story is the psychiatrist and his relationship with Hermann Goering, who was the number two person, the number two guy in Nazi Germany. So that's where we're beginning. We have these like parallel things happening, and then at some point they do meet together.
Yeah, they really do. They send the psychiatrist to evaluate basically whether Hermann Goering is able to stand trial, or is in what condition is he in, or what information can he get from him prior to. And it is just such a heavy movie. Oh my God, it really is. I mean, we actually go through the whole movie watching Doug Kelly, who is the psychiatrist, Dr. Kelly, meet with Hermann Goering and they built a friendship. I mean, it was really, the psychiatrist went so far as to deliver letters to his wife and child, and kind of really embraced that family.
One of the things that I saw with that, so I thought it was so interesting that they kind of framed all of this. They used the card tricks throughout, and the cards, which I really loved in the movie. So at the beginning, Dr. Kelly is doing a card trick on a train, on his way to his assignment. And, he's not revealing his cards. The woman who he did the card trick for, he does not tell her how it's done. And it's really interesting, as he goes in and he evaluates, these Nazi leaders, they use Rorschach prints to evaluate them. And so there is this like one line in the movie where they're sitting in an airplane, and Goering actually says to him, "So what did the cards say?" And here Dr. Kelly actually reveals what the cards say. And I love how he uses the word cards, because I think it's in reference to this like kind of magic trick thing that is a theme throughout the movie. And Dr. Kelly actually reveals everything. He tells him who he is. He says, "You're a narcissist, you're this, you're that." So he reveals absolutely everything. This continues through the movie, where Dr. Kelly actually teaches Goring how to do this magic trick with the
Yeah,
coin
how
and
about
how to
that?
make it disappear. And I think that is, again, Dr. Kelly diagnoses him as a narcissist. And we actually see, we see this kind of like mastermind narcissist make himself into a human being to Dr. Kelly.
Yes, he had charm. He really,
everything.
yes,
Yeah.
he had empathy at times.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And not only that, but I feel like he was able to read that from Dr. Kelly. I think he was using Dr. Kelly's weaknesses to manipulate him. So I think that was part of it. He knew that he had to make himself a human being to him in order to get him on his side. And I think that he was also doing little tests on him. I think that the first test was in the airplane when he asks him, oh, what did the card say? And Dr. Kelly reveals it. And I think he was like, bing. And then I think the letters, getting Dr. Kelly to agree to bring the letters to his family. I think that was another test. And he was starting to become the puppet master with Dr. Kelly. So I thought that was so absolutely interesting.
And I really do think that Kelly didn't for the longest time believe that he knew anything about what was going on in the concentration camps. Like, I think that he honestly believed that Goring was kind of,
Yeah, well, I think he wanted to believe him, right? Because his focus was on him as a human being. And then at some point, we actually get into the trials and we start to see actually the concentration camps. And they even say in the trial that this is the first time people are ever seeing footage of this.
And the footage was, I mean, it was real footage. They showed footage that goes back into the 40s. It was,
and it was
atrocious.
It was absolutely atrocious. And they look at, they go through some of the characters and you can see them tearing up. You can see their reaction to everything. So I thought that was really powerful.
I do too.
Yeah.
I really did. There was a couple of lines in the movie too that referred to, I wish I could remember the one exactly verbatim that he made when he got up and walked away. Something about history repeating itself or something. And I don't know. There's just a lot to think about when you watch this movie that you can pull away and take into today's world. And
I want to say, like, I think one of the biggest themes for me, I thought the magic stuff was like a really cool thing, but I think one of the things that maybe this movie was trying to do was, at the beginning there's a question posed, like, how could this happen? How could a country allow a fascist dictator to overtake it, to allow these atrocities to happen?
Because people didn't stand up.
Exactly.
That was his line.
Yes.
Because people didn't stand up and they didn't stand up fast enough.
They didn't stand up. They didn't stand up fast enough. But I think what this movie is showing us is, I think it's showing us a little bit of a microcosm of how this relationship between this psychiatrist and this genius narcissist, who was very dynamic, who was very charming. We see this psychiatrist. He's not just a regular person. He's an intelligent, educated psychiatrist, and he is convinced he becomes a Goring fan.
Yeah,
and so
exactly.
I think on the large scale, I think, like, this is what we're seeing. This is how it happened.
Yes.
We see this individual being taken, being pulled in. And I think that being one of the questions of the movie, how can this happen? That's how it happened. We get to see it happen between two people.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was absolutely such a big part of this
Yeah,
movie.
I
So,
did too. I absolutely did it,
Yeah.
and it was a large reason why I wanted to see it too.
Yeah.
It's an excellent movie. It truly
Absolutely.
is.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's a movie that everyone should see,
Yeah.
just if for nothing other than history's sake.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it is, you know, a good, really, and I did read somewhere that it was researched well and that it's highly accurate. I mean, that
Oh,
it's,
great.
yeah.
That's exciting to hear. I mean, history, as far as fiction goes, we don't even need to fictionalize things. I mean, history in itself is just has everything that you could ever want in a movie. So it's really neat to see
and the
that.
performances were amazing.
Absolutely.
You know, I know that Russell Crowe is a really good actor, because I didn't think so until I saw him do that part in Les Mis, the movie for Les Mis, and I like, wow, you're really a good actor. And then Rami Malek is always, you know, he always plays a good part. And then Michael Shannon played the part of the Justice.
Yeah. I mean, humanizing somebody like Herman Goering takes a really fantastic actor for that. And that's absolutely,
and he did that part so well. I mean, he really, he was able to display the charm and still be hard, you know, still be that Nazi German, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. But I do think that there were a couple of messages that the movie was trying to convey. One of those being that question of how can something like this happen. The other part of that too, I thought that the movie was really this whole thing about humanity and humanizing the opposition. And I think that was a huge part of it. You know, we see that throughout the movie. We see humanity at the end of the movie. Dr. Kelly pulls out the card deck again, and he pulls out the King of Hearts. And I was wondering, you know, if in the movie, was he the King of Hearts or was Goring the King of Hearts? But you know, humanizing the opposition was a big part of this. And even at the end, Dr. Kelly's translator, Trist was his last name, I think.
Okay.
He, you know, we see the footage of the concentration camps and the horrific footage of the concentration camps. But then at the end of the movie, they also show the execution of, I don't know, it was like Stryker, I think it was. They absolutely show the execution of Stryker. And Trist, his translator, who we learn, well, I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but Trist, his translator, actually has pity on this man and helps him get ready for his execution. And then again, they show a very graphic representation of his execution. So this movie was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it really was. It's a long movie. It's 2 hours and 28 minutes, and quite honestly, it flew by. It really
did. I was expecting it to. I didn't.
You would expect it would be slow in parts when you're talking about that length of a movie. But it was not at all. I mean, it just moved.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you are in that world. You are right there.
Yes,
with
you
them.
sure are. Holy God.
You know, you are absolutely in that world with these fantastic actors and the fantastic scenery, everything. It was just amazing.
Very well done movie. How would you rate it?
Oh my God. Well, I would like to give this movie a 9.
Yeah, that's exactly where I am.
I would like to give this movie a 9.
Yeah.
I'm usually not somebody who's interested in historical movies or historical things, but I just thought that this was absolutely fantastic. And I love the fact, again, you know, at some point, Goring says that, hey, the world's going to remember me and not you, Dr. Kelly. And I love how this movie decentered him and made it about, you know, about the both of them and about others as well, too. So I would give this movie a 9. I like the way they have approached this.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I think it was definitely a great movie, and I would recommend it to anybody. You know, I generally don't like war movies either because I don't do blood and
Yeah,
guts.
yeah,
You know,
exactly. Yeah.
I'm always covering my
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
But this was not that type of movie. I
No,
mean, there really was not blood and guts per
no,
se. You
no.
know, it wasn't a really violent movie other
Yeah,
than the graphics we saw, that happened in the concentration camps,
yeah,
which was very awful.
yeah,
But overall, the movie is easy to watch as far as that goes. But I
yeah.
do have a real interest in history, like when it comes to true
Yes,
events. When I
yes,
can watch a
yes.
movie about a true event, I'm all
Absolutely.
about it. I'm right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And that's what I thought was that I completely agree with that. I thought that it
Hmm.
was really great. I think like when I say I'm not interested in history, I feel like World War II has been done so much that you feel like there's nothing else for you to see with World War II. But that was not the case with this movie.
Yeah.
This movie was great. Again, really great part to
Hmm.
really great way to view American history.
Yeah.
You're saying that it's very
Yeah.
historically accurate.
Yeah.
Really
You
fantastic.
walk away feeling like you learned something about history.
Yeah.
Like I had never heard of that man, Russell
Yeah.
or Herman Goring,
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Never.
Yep.
That was a brand new name to me, and
Yeah.
he's number 2
Yeah.
in the Nazi Reich or whatever they call
Yeah.
it, right? And
Yeah.
so that's amazing to me that I had never heard of him before.
Yeah, and then the whole Dr. Kelly thing as well
Yeah.
too. Like who would have known that? And then the fact that there had been no precedent for this as well too. So looking at that on the
Mhm.
international legal stage, that was really amazing as well
Yeah.
too.
Dr.
So,
Kelly had mentioned at the end also wrote a book about his experiences and it failed, but I would love to get my hands on that book.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting because they show him doing this tour of America, trying to warn everybody that this is possible.
Mhm.
That
This could happen anywhere, anytime, even in the United States.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
nobody would believe him. So
Yeah. So that's it. That's what we have for you. A strong recommendation to go see it before it comes out. And a big thank you to Carolyn. Really, please go down in the comments and thank her for taking her time to do this.
oh, no
I
problem.
have
I had so
enjoyed
much
having
fun.
you.
I had fun, and we'll do it again.
Okay. All right. Promise?
I
All
I
right,
absolutely
you heard her.
promise. Yeah.
All right. So that's what we have for you. If you've seen it, we'd love your comments. I'd love to read them all the time. And that's about it. And we'll see you in the next one. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.